Whenever a team like the LA Lakers go out there in free agency and get a bunch of new players, chemistry is kind of hard to gain, and connectivity won't always be there. But I think it's the complete opposite. These past 2 games in the preseason, the Lakers have been gelling perfectly, and I think they cracked the code on how to really excel with this type of roster. They have a bunch of young guys stepping up to the plate without LeBron James. They continue to get victories in the preseason. In today's video, we'll be going over the 5 standout players on the Lakers when LeBron isn't on the court. We'll be breaking down these 5 players by looking at film and understanding what goes through the minds of these young players when LeBron James is not on the floor whatsoever. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys hit that like button and that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Let's get right on to the first player that stood out on the LA Lakers. And this has to be DAngelo Russell. You know, during the conference finals against the Denver Nuggets, he wasn't knocking down shots, so I was kind of like pulling my hair, but I know that it's a make or miss league and that D'Lo went back in the offseason and he worked on his game, and this is quite evident because in the last 2 preseason games, DAngelo Russell averages 17.5 points, 2 rebounds, and 7 assists. But to really show you how good DAngelo Russell has been playing in the preseason, let's break down his greatest strength so far, and this is playmaking and getting everyone else open. The first thing that DAngelo Russell did very well last night against the Sacramento Kings is that he sensed a lot of off-ball screens way before they even happened. On this play, DAngelo Russell is coming off a handoff from Torian Prince, and instantly when he gets the ball, he knows that Jackson Hayes is setting an off-ball for Gabe Vincent, so while Vincent's cutting into the paint, DAngelo Russell throws one of the hardest passes I've seen all night, gets it over Herder perfectly for an easy Gabe Vincent layup. D'Lo also shows very good playmaking IQ on this play because he knows that he has a weaker defender in De'Aaron Fox on him, so knowing this, he goes right to Torian Prince for the pick and roll, which causes the weaker defender De'Aaron Fox to have to switch onto Torian Prince, and Torian Prince just bodies him in the paint and makes an easy hook shot. DAngelo Russell was also dominating on the offensive side, and the Sacramento Kings were showing him a lot of drop coverage, but he easily countered this, and let me show you what I mean. On this play, DAngelo Russell is coming off a screen by Jackson Hayes, and when he's coming off, he's getting drop coverage from Sabonis, so to counter this, DAngelo Russell continues to go right to avoid Sabonis, and to get even more room, DAngelo Russell does a Chris Paul fading back mid-range shot, which gets him the easy mid-range. Imagine this with Anthony Davis in the pick and roll. Now let's move on to the second standout player on the Lakers, and this most definitely has to be Rui Hachimura. This guy is turning into one of the most skilled cutters coming off the corner. He can create for himself in the mid-range, and more importantly, he knocks down catch and shoot 3-pointers very efficiently. So let's break down some film on his cutting and his creation in the mid-range. On this first play, as DAngelo Russell and Jackson Hayes are doing a pick and roll, Rui Hachimura is in the corner, and he notices that the guy that's supposed to be guarding him is going a little bit deeper than he should be into the paint. So this gives Rui a perfect ability to sneak behind Harrison Barnes and get into the paint for a wide open layup. Rui is also very good at creating in the post-up mid-range area, and on this play he gets a pass from Gabe Vincent, gives Harrison Barnes a jab step, which gives him enough room to go to the left and then spin off the left for a post fadeaway. This play kind of reminds me of Kawhi Leonard as well, because Kawhi goes from the post-up position and almost always finds a way to get a mid-range shot off. So now looking back present day to the trade where the Lakers got Rui Hachimura for Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round picks, that is an absolute steal. For a 3-and-D player that is a hot commodity in the league right now, that is insane. Now let's move on to the third standout player on the Lakers, and this is probably one of my more favorite players on the Lakers right now, and this is Torian Prince. He's such a versatile player because he can set you screens, do a lot of handoffs, and then shift right into being a guy that can knock down a mid-range shot for you. And a prime example of his versatility is on this play when he sets an off-ball screen for DAngelo Russell, then gets the ball back, does a pick and roll with Jackson Hayes, and pulls up in the mid-range. So you could literally use him as a decoy in the offense to set a pick for someone else, and then he can just have even more room to operate in the mid-range area and score. That makes it so dangerous. Torian Prince also showed that he can create for himself on this play, as he's getting an off-ball screen from Jackson Hayes. Then when he comes off the screen, he's playing the in-between game with his defender. Then he shifts to the right side, does a pump fake to get him to bite, and gets an and one mid-range fadeaway bucket. He can knock down some tough shots too. That is a crazy shot. On top of that, he can just be that type of guy that sits in the corner, and whenever LeBron James gets doubled, he could shoot the three-pointer very efficiently. Last season with the Timberwolves, Torian Prince shot the three at a 38%, so he's very efficient from the three. You can trust him to knock down those shots. Now let's move on to the fourth standout player on the Lakers, and this is quite simply Gabe Vincent. In his last preseason game against the Sacramento Kings, he scored 18 points, 2 assists, and knocked down 4 three-pointers. Gabe Vincent is that guy that the Lakers can use to be an off-ball pest, lock down guys, and more importantly, be a pest on the offensive side for when players like Anthony Davis set off-ball screens for Gabe Vincent so he can go around them and knock down three-pointers, or just go in the paint for a wide-open layup. Gabe Vincent also adds a threat going down in transition, and this is because he's so good at just catching and shooting even when he's sprinting full speed and then he has to shoot. That's like a skill that most players don't have, transition three-point scoring. This will also allow the Lakers to play a lot quicker in the transition because LeBron James is just getting older, and that means that he has to have young players around him, and this is exactly what the Lakers are doing. Finally, let's talk about the fifth standout player on the Lakers, and this was very hard for me to choose. Keep in mind, we're keeping Reeves, LeBron, and Anthony Davis out of this video because I'm basing it on the game they had against the Kings. So knowing this, the fifth standout player was Christian Wood. Did I ever love how aggressive he was? Going into the post-up and taking Sabonis, he was also being used as a bait to shoot three-pointers and just spotting up to spread the floor. And a good example of this is when Christian Wood was spotted up on the left wing, he gets the ball from Gabe Vincent, does a pump fake to get JaVale McGee to bite, and once JaVale McGee bites, he just runs right past him and does a wide open dunk. Wood was also very dominant in the post, and a good example is on this play when he gets a pass from Hachimura into the post, and instead of instantly working Lyles into the post, Christian Wood does a fake pass to the guy cutting, which causes Davion Mitchell to go through Christian Wood and Trey Lyles, giving Wood a little bit of room to just pull up over his defender. Even on this play, Christian Wood has a mismatch in the post against Herter, so he quickly goes to the drop step, and then Sabonis helps, so he does a pump fake, Sabonis is in the air, and this gives Christian Wood all the advantage, so he goes up and muscles his way to a layup. I think it's very important that we analyze this Lakers team without Reeves, LeBron, and Anthony Davis, because it really shows us which players are willing to take that next step and take over the offense, and most importantly, the defensive side. I'm so excited for the Lakers coming up in the regular season. I'm not going to overreact to any preseason games, just breaking down some players for you guys. Before you guys leave today's video, make sure you hit the like button because one like is one prayer that Anthony Davis doesn't get injured by the air again. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, we're almost at 10k subs. That's been all for your boy Mubsy Hoops. I'll catch you guys in the next one.